What's up, witches? I'm Allie, the BronxWitch, and in this Magic Monday, I'm going to be showing you how to make an herbal infused honey. I love making herb honeys. Honey is both magical and medicinal, and of course, so are herbs. So when paired together, they're not only a yummy combination, but a very useful combination. So as always, I am taking a clean and sanitized jar, and I am cleansing and consecrating it in the Wiccan way, using fire and air, earth and water, and spirit. You can use pretty much any safe herb to infuse into your honey. For this blend, I'm going to be using sage, thyme, and orange peels. All three ingredients have already been washed and left out to dry. The herbs have been left out for about half a day, but the orange peels have been left out for about 2 days. This is really important. I want my orange peels to be completely dry to the touch. They're not so dry that they would just crack apart and crumble in my hands, but they are dry enough that they don't feel damp or soft at all. This is because I don't want excess water in my honey, which could go bad while the honey is sitting. But I do want the oranges to be fresh enough that there is still oil and vitamin C contained in them. So now that I've separated the leaves from the branches of my sage, I'm going to gently cut them up into smaller pieces using my bowline. A bowline is a traditional Wiccan magical tool that has been cleansed and consecrated specifically for cutting herbs and other living things. The idea is to cut up my sage with reverence and respect for the fact that it's alive and that it has a living energy that I would like it to share with me. Once I've added my sage to the jar, I'll move on to the thyme. And when it comes to thyme, I typically like to bundle it up with some cooking twine. Picking off all of those little leaves and then straining them out of my final product is too tedious for me. So I prefer to just make a bundle. It's important that if you do this, you make sure to use cooking twine, which is food safe and is safe to be put into something you're going to consume. Any other type of thread or just some random string or rope is not food safe, and I would not recommend using it to make your bundle. As I've been adding each of the ingredients, I've been setting my intentions and asking that ingredient to give up certain properties to this recipe. For the sage, I wanted to add its antibacterial and astringent properties to help with mucus in the lungs, coughs, and bacterial infections. For the thyme, I wanted to add its soothing properties for calming of coughs and cold symptoms. And for the orange peels, I wanted to lend its high concentration of vitamin C. So now that I've completed my prayer, I'm going to add my honey. And you can get as crazy or as artisan with your honey as you'd like. But I am just using regular old clover honey from the supermarket. Honey is a fantastic magical ingredient. It has an energy of slow and long-lasting things. It's thick and it's sticky and it clings to everything it touches, so it's great for workings that involve things that we want to last a long time, like good health. It also has great attraction properties, so you'll see it used frequently for money jars or love jars to attract things toward us. So aside from just being yummy, it's a great magical tool. And whenever I use honey, I always like to take a little onto my finger and taste it. I once had a priestess that worked with the Orishas tell me that honey is sacred to the goddess Oshun, and you should always taste your honey before you use it. So I just sort of picked up that habit. Now that everything is sealed, I'm going to move the jar around a little bit and just make sure that everything is thoroughly coated. I'm going to leave this jar in a cool, dark place for 2 to 4 weeks. Every day, I'm going to take the jar and turn it in the opposite direction. This is just to ensure that everything gets completely coated in the honey and I have gotten everything out of each ingredient. Herb honey is great to just keep in your kitchen and have on hand to add to tea or various recipes. But I have quite a bit of herb honey in my kitchen already. So this honey is actually going to be turned into some slippery elm cough drops that I plan on making in a few weeks. And if you're interested in a video on how to make your own cough drops, just leave me a comment down below and I'll make sure to film the process. But if you're just going to use this as a honey, make sure to label and date it with the ingredients and the date of bottling, as well as any other useful information you think should be there. I encourage you to make your own herbal honey, and if you do, I would love to see it. So post it on Instagram with the hashtag #MagickMondays, and I will make sure to check it out. Until the next video, blessed be.